Hello.
Nice to see you again,
Yeah, long time no see.
right? Hello.
Hey there.
Hey, Meredith.
How are you doing this evening, Kathy?
Doing well. How about you?
Pretty good. Although I couldn't stay awake in the middle of the day. I don't know. It was like somebody was like pressing a pillow down on me and saying, sleep, sleep. But I've woken back up again, so hopefully I'll be able to continue the meeting.
I remember attending meetings like mid-afternoon some days and thinking, I'm going to fall asleep sitting right here with my eyes open.
Yeah, yeah. In my first job out of college, the first year I was at that company, I worked in an office in Boston in the building that is the Department of Mental Health,
Hmm.
which, by the way, was designed to give people the feeling of being insane,
Oh,
which is an
great.
Oh,
interesting place to put the Department of Mental Health. It's one
Yeah.
of those brutalist monstrosities of concrete and stuff. And there was a conference room that we had all of our meetings in that had no windows. And I would sit there and it felt like somebody was like putting sedative gas into the room the whole time. And
It
I
sounds like
wonder
a
if we didn't
prison.
get enough oxygen or something. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Sounds
So
like prison for sure.
yeah, it was not my best working environment, I will say. They had done things like the hallways widened and narrowed randomly. There were stairs to nowhere. Like it had truly actually been like an architectural intention to give people there a feeling of unreality.
Wow.
And why they ever put anything in it other than, I don't know, some kind of like spiritual retreat. I'm not sure.
Crazy.
okay. Well, I think this is all of us because Anne has company tonight.
Mm,
Oh,
Uh, so I will do the honor of calling us to order in lieu of our temporary chair. Um, we have to vote on that later. So I'll call us to order at 5:01, the Personnel Board for the town of Shutesbury. And the first item on our agenda is just to go over the agenda. Uh, We'll have a public comment period if anyone shows up, but so far there's no one in the audience. And then we have to pick a temporary chair for today's meeting. We're gonna do a little update on the job description check-in meetings. Um, I have some updates. We'll pick a next meeting date and then we'll adjourn.
okay.
Uh,
okay.
and yeah, I still don't see anyone in the audience, so we can skip ahead to, does anyone want to volunteer to be tonight's chair? I know it's an honor. Everyone's looking forward to. You're all chomping at the bit.
I don't remember what is involved. I wouldn't mind doing it, but I would need to know what I was supposed to do.
Okay. So basically, you're running us through the agenda.
Okay.
Um, it would be super helpful if you can stay on just to help me plan the next agenda.
Okay.
Um, do the meeting post, which I can show you how to do. And that's really it. You're kind of like team leader
Okay.
for this exercise.
Then if nobody else wants to do it, I will serve.
Okay. Do I hear
Thanks,
a motion?
Meredith. I
Ah,
move that Meredith serve as temporary chair of the Personnel Board.
And I second it.
excellent. All those in favor?
Aye. Oh, we have to go in order. Sorry.
That's okay.
Who's first?
Meredith, you're
Oh,
first.
Oh,
Meredith.
do I vote on this? I
Yeah, you
Costello,
totally
I.
can.
Richter,
Salvador,
aye.
I. And Salvador, I don't know if you heard that.
Okay, and Veronica, and how about Jim?
Jim, I.
Okay, perfect. All right,
Yeah,
Meredith, the floor is yours.
Haley or Meredith, can I just introduce myself? Because this is
Oh
my
yeah, we
first
should do
time.
that.
I'm not sure if you've all been together meeting, but I'm the new Melissa. Her term came up, her limits came up. So I think she would have liked to have continued as a representative from the select board, but she's not allowed. So I'm the new select board rep for the personnel board. And
Welcome.
Thank you for joining us.
look forward to working with you.
Same.
I'm brand new to the select board. So that's a new thing for me, but I've been on the finance committee for quite a while. So I just gave that up this past June when I came onto the select board. So nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you.
Meredith, I think I've seen your name. Are you on the finance committee?
I
now?
am now.
Yeah, so you might
on
have
the
taken my
finance-
place.
It seems like it, yeah. And here we are getting to work together on personnel.
Yeah. So yeah, looking forward to working with you all, and as well as Ann. Is Ann the only one missing from this?
We have a vacancy, but she's
Okay.
Yeah, and
and
did Nettie do interviews for the vacancy?
she did. I don't know yet how those turned out, and I'm terrible at introductions, so maybe we should all say who we are. But that might be a good idea, Jim.
Okay, so I'm not the only new person.
Well, since I've already said a little something, I'll continue. I'm Meredith. This is my second personnel committee meeting and my third committee meeting ever because or fourth or fifth, I guess. We've had two for finance. But I'm very new in my journey of service to my community. So thank you all for helping me succeed.
Thank you for being willing to do it.
You're welcome.
Yeah, likewise. I think you'll like the group on the finance committee also. I think they're a great team. Great
They
team to
seem
work
like a
with.
great group
Yeah.
of people so far. Yeah.
I'm Kathy Salvador. I served on the finance committee with that team, and I can second that. They're fabulous. They're a great group, really, really good, and we're lucky to have them.
Mhm.
And I was the finance committee rep to the personnel board initially, and then I stayed on
Mhm.
once I left the finance committee.
Hey, I'm Veronica Richter. I've served the town with many hats over the years. I was even town clerk back in the days where you had just Tuesday night office hours, like well, I don't know. Stuart's 39 years old and had just been born, so it was a long time ago. And then I've been on the Space Needs Committee. I was on the Building Committee, the Space Needs Committee when we were getting ready to rebuild the school. But this is my first. I've only been on the Personnel Board a year.
Nice to meet you.
hmm
And you guys know me. No introduction needed.
Then I believe it is time for us to move on to agenda point 5, update on the job description check-in meetings.
Yeah. Do you want to go first, Kathy?
Sure. We have met with, let me see if I remember everybody. The librarian, Marianne, Ryan, treasurer, Devin, police chief, Kelvin, the new town clerk, and Gail, our accountant. And I will say that the meetings were great. They were short to the point, but we got a lot out of them. I was meeting all but Devin, meeting them for the first time. So it was really nice meeting those folks. What I came away with from the meetings was they were all really happy, I think, that we're doing this work and looking at job descriptions to update some that haven't been updated in a lot of years. But what I really came away with was how lucky we are to have these employees because they're all really solid citizens. I mean, they're all really good at what they do. Um, I think they're all not thinking about leaving anytime soon, if I'm
Mhm.
kind of, reading into our conversations, which is great in terms of succession. It doesn't get us off the hook for planning for succession, but we have a little breathing room at least. But I think the conversations went really well. They shared information prior to our meetings through a survey that Haley put together, and that was really helpful. Um, Gave us an idea of where they believe the pain points are in their jobs, and where the job descriptions maybe need a little work and where they're right on the money. So the meetings so far have been great.
Yeah, I agree. They've been
And
really nice.
and how is this all going to come together so that we all get to see the results? Do we know?
Yes. Well, I have an idea and we can add on to it. So I have now all the employees, like department head level, have given me their succession planning, their core operation survey. So I have compiled all of that information into a spreadsheet, which I can share. And basically have finished the second part totally, but I'm taking all of their results and kind of looking at, you know, okay, if we have 25% of your job recorded, how can we make a game plan to record the other 75%? Um, and just kind of looking at, okay, like if a pain point for one of our department heads is that they don't have an administrative assistant to hand, because, Dave, Lenny, and Devin, they're all working chiefs. Um, and so they have to be in the office and out plowing or patrolling or putting out a fire. And so how do we maybe, you know, make a plan to get some administrative help? Is it like a part-time position? Is it an internship opportunity? And so I have a lot of notes. And Kathy, I'll have to ask you and Anne if you want to send me your notes, and I'll compile everything together so we can kind of go through like the highs and lows. I think overwhelmingly they were positive, and I would say for our fiscal jobs, like the accountant and treasurer, there didn't seem to be a lot of like changes
No.
in like the day to day over time, but definitely for like Mary Ann, like even in the name of her job, it talks about MN Spear. So that's got to get updated.
Mhm.
Don't have that building. She's not in that building anymore. Um, so yeah, does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Um, and just I wanted to share one thing, which was I thought really nice, was Devin in particular was very happy to have that meeting because I don't think he realized like that people don't understand like the physical space they're in. That was a pain point that he had talked about where like they have such small, like they don't even have like enough room to store all the evidence. They have to store the evidence along with files and different things that, it's not really supposed to be that way, but there's no other room in the building to put it. And so it's really hard for them to navigate in that tiny little section of town hall. Um, so yeah, I think he really in particular had appreciated that meeting. Oh, I have. Yeah, I think we're pretty lucky. Ryan in particular, I think Ryan does a phenomenal job and he's really on top of things. He's very
Mhm.
happy with where he's at. Our accountant, eventually, she said she's going to want to retire. Um, she wants to go up to Maine more. Um,
We have
but
no idea why.
I know, crazy. But there's a lot of things that can be backed up, and her job in particular, like there's a lot of transferability where like things are very rigid in how you have to do municipal finance. Um, and she had even said one thing we could look at if we want to be creative was like combining, with another town. When we get to that point, we're not quite there yet. And what else did I have for notes? Something that struck out to me also about Mary Ann's was just that like her job is so much more programmatic, I think, than it initially was. Usually you think of a librarian, it's like, oh, you're just shelving books, but like she's having to do a lot more programs because how libraries operate is really changing.
Mhm.
I remember one day she said to me, "You don't have to be quiet in the library." And I was like, "What do you mean? You don't have to be quiet in the library? That's like their thing, but it's expanding." And so her job has really expanded because of that.
Hmm.
So no more shushing happening in the library.
Yeah. I thought I was being really loud. I was ready to be shushed. I was not shushed. Uh, you know? But yeah, and then I think our clerk, I was really just impressed with like his how he's kind of come into the role and like really just identified like one of the big things that we need from that office, which is just a centralized information repository. You know, he was talking about how there might be like two folders on dog licenses and then another folder on dog tags, and all the information is different. And so making like so his focus is really just making sure that we're central and that it's easy to find the information that we need, which is really great. And also at some point getting a digital backup.
Yeah, I've seen books on the shelves in there that I wrote in 39 years ago. I mean,
So it's good we still have it,
yeah,
Veronica, they were that good. Nobody wanted to get rid of
Mhm.
I
them.
guess so. Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, and so we have the land use clerk coming up Tuesday, I think.
Yeah,
And then
Tuesday.
I'll have to nudge our other department heads. Not all of them, some of them are a little shy. They don't sign up for meetings.
Uh-oh.
I know, but we want to hear from them. Um, so yeah, and as far as like the core operations survey, certainly most people want to stay and they consistently say that like the team environment or working with other department heads is a huge asset that they love. Um, but obviously with small resources in a small town, it can be a little tricky for them to navigate, how do I go out and grade a road while I have to write a grant for the grader that keeps breaking down because then I can't, you know, all that's built out. And yeah, I think those are my takeaways. Um, and I guess I would just wonder after that, like, would we want to do like a presentation to the select board? Um, it's almost budget season, so if we identify, maybe there's some staff needs, like, well, yeah, like Kathy, one thing that had come up was like professional development.
Right.
And, how do we incentivize our employees to go to conferences where they can keep building their skills if, there's not a dedicated line item for that. And that might be something that we want to think about.
And the sense was there was definite interest in that from almost all of them. So, yeah, so my understanding is they're gonna take a look at their job descriptions and tweak them
Mhm.
for us, and then we'll review again and tweak if necessary, and then those will go back to the select board for final review.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, as temporary chair, I guess I will move us to our next meeting item, which I think puts Haley back in the hot seat, town administrator
Yeah.
updates.
So I kind of threw this in to buy us some meeting time if there were things that we thought about we wanted to talk. Mostly I was going to talk about the succession planning survey and just looking at the data, and for some departments that's going to be a lot easier than others. Like for example, the police department, there's not a whole lot that like they can share outward. It has to live within the police department. But for something like our finance team, definitely trying to put together some kind of like guidebook for municipal operations, and just trying to look ahead because the easier we can make it to onboard people, I think the more efficient we'll be with our resources. So that's big on my list. That's a huge goal for me, is just to start that documentation process, even if it's slow, even if it's like once a quarter, here's how you do this state audit report. And then, yeah, we have another all staff meeting coming up on the 1st of September, which is always fun. it is. Oh yeah, Veronica, you were there last time.
Yep.
It's good to get everyone together. And we'll definitely kind of debrief a little bit about. I'll get more of their impressions from the meetings that we just did. And yeah, I'm happy to say this is a slow HR time where, we've hired for all our positions. We don't have to we don't have any vacancies right now. And, things are kind of plugging along pretty well.
That's good, but you may have just jinxed yourself by saying that.
No, I know. I'll knock on wood.
We're marching through this agenda very quickly. I
March
believe
on.
we're at the point of figuring out the date of the next meeting.
Yes, we have to talk time. So I think 5:30 works better for some people.
I would prefer
I
it
heard
slightly,
that.
but not like
Yeah.
hugely.
It's tough for me on Thursdays because I normally, like tonight, I'm not going to band because Scott had another surgery today, whatever. But
Mm.
but most nights I leave, by like 10 past 6, but
Okay.
on Thursdays. So
I think Anne also
it has a
preferred
hard
if we
6,
if
yeah.
if we avoid Thursdays. So we talked about possibly doing Wednesdays at 5:30.
That would work with my schedule.
How about everybody else?
I'd be cool
Yeah.
with that.
That'd be okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Are they, is this committee, is it always by virtual meeting?
So
Or
far.
is there,
It has been.
it has been
Oh.
all virtual?
But we've talked about, since it's such a small committee, we've talked about the possibility at some point of maybe doing some in-person meetings too.
Mhm.
They're a little more human, but with everybody's schedules, it's so much easier to do Zoom too.
Yeah.
We'll leave the option open, I guess.
And it's usually the first and the third of the month. Is that right? First and third weeks of the
I
month.
thought it was just third.
Or
It's
just
the
I'm sorry,
third.
I'm confusing finance and
Oh, yeah.
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 No, it's been the third Thursday, but we could do the third Wednesday of
Okay.
each month going forward. So the 6th, that would be the 16th
That would be fine by me.
at 5:30.
I'll do a reoccurring calendar invite, put on people's schedule.
That'd be great. And I sent draft minutes around. We don't have to do anything with those today because I just sent them today, but we can maybe review and approve those at the next meeting.
Sure. I looked them over already, Kathy, but I think the first set was from a meeting I didn't attend and I missed
Yeah.
most of the second one, so I don't think I get to approve those.
Yeah, yeah. I figured I included you just so that you'd be in the loop.
No, good information to get. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm starting to learn the ways of committee work.
Yep, yep.
Kathy or whoever is the holder of the distribution list, do you have me added to your
Yeah, I
distribution?
will. I didn't add you today just because you hadn't been at either of the meetings, but I can send the drafts for your review just so that you're also in the loop.
Yeah, no, I just want to make sure if going forward that you
Yeah.
just have my,
Mhm.
you have my
Yeah.
email address.
Yeah, gotcha.
Okay, thanks.
Sure.
All right. Well, we have reached point 8, which is adjourn at 5:22, having begun at 5:01.
It's always good to be efficient.
It is good to be efficient.
I'm sure there will also be times of the year where we go longer. So
You had on the agenda that it's a temporary chair. Is that
Mhm.
planned for going forward, or how would you come to an official permanent chair on the committee?
Someone has to want it.
Yeah,
To be-
yeah.
But it could be fair in the meantime because we also have a vacancy, so we could maybe try to sucker that person in. Did I say
Yeah.
sucker? I meant encourage to do it.
I think since Ann's not here, we should
I-
just make Ann be the chair, no? Since she's not here.
We tried that with Veronica at the last
Yeah,
meeting.
they tried that with me. But yeah, I think that if we wait until we're like full, like Anne's here, the new person's here, maybe,
Yeah, have everybody
Yeah.
part of it.
exactly.
Okay,
That was our thinking.
cool, cool. It's a pretty efficient group.
Yeah.
Not always, but today, yes.
Yeah.
So
We
do I
tried to
need
pull it together for you,
Yeah.
Jim.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we wanted to show off. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, you were not here for us going through the personnel book,
Oh,
Oh my
line by
gosh.
line by line, by line by line.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
We have
Oh, wow.
great editors in this group.
yes. Oxford comma by Oxford
Mhm.
comma.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Oh, but we got it done.
Mhm.
Uh,
So I move that we adjourn
Second.
the
Seconded.
meeting.
Mm.
All in favor?
Pastel eye.
Richter, I.
Salvador, I.
Walt and I.
Thank you all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks,
See
everybody.
you all next time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks. And nice meeting you all.
Nice
Okay.
meeting
Same
you.
here.
Yeah.
Bye.
So long.